we know you've got nothing better to do on a Wednesday night than hang out with us. So welcome in to 615 Preps Live, getting you ready for week number 2 around the Nashville area. We got a six-pack of people ready to talk about high school football here.
Six deep,
rolling six deep. It's not the first time, but a lot of faces, a lot of opinions and a lot of apologies. Yes, they're back. The apologies are back this week, and Tyson's already shaking his head because there's only one he has to apologize to, and he doesn't like it. All right, guys. Week 1 was loaded. Let's talk about it real quick. First things first. Some injuries, some key injuries too, to potential Mr. Football finalists and winners.
Yeah, just a bad week of injuries. DeJuan Morris goes out first drive for Oakland. I think first play is what I saw. Isaiah Groves, we're not hearing that injury is great. And then Hugh Price with the broken collarbone, I think I saw, so he'll probably be out for most of the regular season. Just a rough week injury-wise. I mean, obviously you don't want to see that, but it's part of the game. But, I mean, just some big-name guys going down early on.
Yeah. You had a couple more. Thankfully, there weren't more that were more serious that I've heard about. But, I mean, I believe was it Ben Hubbard at Ravenwood even went down?
It was like like he pulled his hamstring. He's nothing major.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It for all that, it seemed like it could have been worse.
No Aaron Mattingly for Green Hill either. I mean,
yeah, that's
he
true.
didn't play, so big names out week 1.
Yeah, I think Isaiah probably headlines that though. Not hearing good things out of that injury. If it is as bad as what is expected, 2A just got a whole lot more interesting.
Yeah, potentially. I still think they're loaded, though.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
No, they are, but they're going to have to.
You can't say the gap didn't at least
it narrowed
in half.
It narrowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lose in Mr. Football. It's if that is in fact what happens. I'm hoping that it. We're all hoping that it doesn't.
Yep. Loaded week 1, 3 nights worth of games. Joe, you had actually 3 close ones and one that was that pulled away late. So
yeah,
you've had good success so far in picking some bangers.
If you want to go to a game, if you want to go to a good game, go to a game with me, man. I mean, that's how it is. Antioch, Lebanon. Final score was, I think, Antioch won by 12, but it was a close game throughout. It was just a long game. Goodness. Friday and Saturday were just long games. Cam, I think you and I got out of White House pretty early on. I think around 9:30. You add an hour onto that for the next 2 nights. It was a long couple days, but it was fun. Really good games. I'm expecting a really good one on Friday. Chris and I will be there, so should be another fun week.
Yeah, and a note on the Antioch Lebanon game, that was not a TV game.
No,
it ended at nearly 10:30 because of I would argue more than 30 penalties.
Yeah, and it ended later than Brentwood Academy CPA the next night, and that was the TV game. That's crazy.
Yeah. A lot for those 2 teams to clean up for sure.
One other thing I think that really came out of that week, and I know that Joe and Tyson, you'll really appreciate this, is the importance of special teams.
No kidding.
I mean, Pearl, they allowed NBA to steal that win by not being able to punch in, extra points, and you kept seeing special team mistakes, kickoff run backs. I mean, it's a typical week 1 thing that you have those kind of breakdowns.
Yeah. 53-yarder for the win in that NBA game, though.
That's stout.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. Speaking of special teams, we've talked about it in our previous shows. Dude, our area is loaded with kickers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I've seen as many 50-yard field goals kicked in a week than we did in week 1. So,
I think coaches are starting to realize that when they have these strong legs available to them, that 3 points can be had, and you don't have to go for it in no man's land anymore.
Yeah,
kind of a big deal.
Definitely.
What else stood out to you guys in week one, other than penalties and long games? And, I know we had a heck of a comeback in Franklin Centennial and a wild finish there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one of the sore spots in our area is, especially for us because we picked them to win that region, but Gallatin stumbling out of the gate against the Hendersonville team that most believed were going to be down this year, but Cooper Jordan went off last Friday night, and the story of that game was, Jackson Strout. We talked about it last year. He only had 3 interceptions all year. He had 2 last Friday night. So can go up and get those little bit of mistakes fixed. Um, how about Hendersonville? That's a big win for them. Portland showing physicality. It's week one, right? So it's easy to over exaggerate, and it's easy to panic. I mean, I guess would be the easiest word to say there. But it's important that the coaches know this, but to try to get the reins back hauled in to settle in for the middle parts of the season here.
You want to talk about reins and somebody letting the reins go? How about BGA? 68 points in week one. That was just an outstanding. I mean, from a team that you didn't expect to be that solid coming out of the gate.
No. Welcome to Tennessee high school football, Bobby Bentley.
Yeah, what a debut, huh? Also, question from Jonathan Huffman. Also, what did you guys think of the catch by Price Payne last Friday?
I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
It was unbelievable. It was a heck of a play. You can't get much better than that.
Yeah, that's on our Instagram page.
Yeah, it literally looked like, I don't know about you guys, but when you were little and you used to throw the ball up to yourself and dive onto the bed and catch the ball, it looked like one of those catches where it just set on his hand the whole way down to the ground, and he was able to bring it in. So it was a wild catch for sure.
Yeah.
Certainly one of the true highlights of week one. That kind of lined a great week of games. And we need to go ahead and name a player of the week. So voting just wrapped up a little while ago. Go ahead and bring this out. The Sellers Funeral Homes Players of the Week. And we went with 7 finalists this week just because there were some pretty darn good performances there. Andre Adams from Antioch, threw 4 touchdown passes, had a big night through the air and on the ground with his legs as well. Zach Borders, 197 yards rushing on 11 carries, totaling nearly 260 yards of offense on 13 touches. Cam, you had Jared Curtis, Nashville Christian, put up big numbers. We talked about BGA. Arnett Hayes, a big part of that. He had 3 touchdown receptions there himself. Jeremy Smith from Stewart's Creek had a big hand in their win over Tullahoma. Carson Sneed, can't be more perfect than that. 3 catches, 3 touchdowns for him. And then Dason Springer from White House Heritage, a key piece of their win over Harpeth. And as usual, the fans get the first vote, and they went with Zach Borders at nearly a 70% clip. So Macon County showing out in the vote this week. Joe, you took Andre Adams.
Yeah, Andre was as efficient as you can get in that win over Lebanon. Just a great ball game from him, both on the ground and through the air. Just impressive. It's really scary to me that he's only a sophomore. So a heck of a game for him to get the Bears off to a 1-0, and I think he's going to do that quite a bit this year.
Cam, you took Jared Curtis.
I did. There's a little bit of a trend there. When you see them in person, it leaves a lasting impact, and everybody around the area knows how good Jared is. I don't really have to speak on that, but just the control that he had, having 2 of his what will be his top weapons in TJ Ward and Bryson Holt out, just completely in control of the game. And Davidson Academy didn't have an answer for him, and he kept them off balance all night. So had to go with Jared.
Scott took Dason Springer.
Yeah, 5 passes, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ran a punt back, 55 yards. Had 7 tackles and 2 pass breakups. I mean, he was just all over the field in all 3 phases of the game for the Patriots.
Isaac gets a vote too, but he's not with us tonight. He took Jeremy Smith from Stewart's Creek.
Wow.
KJ, you got Jared Curtis as well.
He threw for about 74% and a little under 300 yards. That's impressive, especially in this area, under 300 yards. This is a more so of a running, old school. You're gonna run the ball type of area. So being able to throw for 300, a little under 300 yards is very impressive in my eyes. So that's why I went with
Yep.
Garrett Curtis.
All right, Tyson's going with Dason Springer as well.
I just liked how Springer did everything on all three sides of the ball. 5 for 96, great yards per catch. That's a great yardage number, anyways, with 2 touchdowns. Punt return, special teams love. Gotta love a good return touchdown. And then had 7 tackles and 2 pass breakups. So he's doing everything on all three sides of the ball, and you just gotta love the versatility. And I feel like him having an outstanding performance in all three just speaks more to these guys who are putting up video game numbers in one spot. I just appreciate the versatility.
Speaking of the video game numbers, that's where my pick went, and I'm going with Zach Borders. He kind of flipped that game on its head when it was still close in the second half. 13 touches, nearly 260 total yards. And now teams are going to have to figure out where both Borders are on the field, not just 7 before as well. And he makes that Macon County offense even more dynamic. And week 1 was just a coming out party for him. So Zach Borders gets the fans' vote and gets 2 votes. When we have a tie, it goes to the fans to break the tie. So Macon County Zach Borders is going to be our Sellers Fuel and Homes Player of the Week for week number 1. And now it's on to the line of the week, which the fans vote all by themselves. And the 5 finalists here: Beach's offense, Friendship Christian's defense, Hendersonville's offense, Macon County's defense, and Oakland's defense. And again, Macon County fans showed up in droves, 68.4%, to give their Tigers a sweep of the week in our Player of the Week and Line of the Week voting. So congratulations to Zach Borders and that Macon County defense for getting it done in week number 1. Guys, that's a pretty solid group of finalists there, and probably some more players we could have added had we gotten stats in time. So I want to make a note here. Our deadline for stats is 5 p.m. Sunday, no exceptions. And we get a lot of people asking about that. It's 2024. The technology's there, and there's no excuse anymore. I mean, if you want a guy to get the stats in time, tell your coaches, get them to us in a timely manner. That's all I got.
Yeah, and most coaches, you guys keep your stats in an Excel spreadsheet. Share that to us. You can share it to us where we can only see it. We can't edit it. There's a such thing as that. So we greatly appreciate that.
All right, now that the soapbox is done, let's go on to some fresh small class rankings. Joe, let's talk about these 5. East Robertson 1, East Nashville 2, Nashville Christian at 3, Gordonsville 4, DC 8 at 5.
Yeah, no real changes here. Obviously, each of those teams took care of business. Gordonsville maybe had the most impressive win of the week, going to the hole and picking up a win without their starting quarterback. But yeah, pretty standard. I think you could argue the top 3 could be switched around in any order. I like where it lays right now. So,
guys, your thoughts on this list?
I think Gordonsville. Go ahead, Cam.
I was just going to say, I think Joe pretty much hit it right on the head. That I would agree that Gordonsville probably had the most impressive week 1 win. I'm super excited to see this DCA team with Carson Snead out wide instead of playing tackle.
Yeah, Scott, go ahead.
Well, Cam made my point, which was Gordonsville showed this week that they deserve to be on this list. And the game that they had, very impressive showing against Smith County.
Move on to the medium class with 4A, 5A, and Division II AA. Page still number 1, CPA 2, Procone 3, Beach 4, and Macon County at 5.
Yeah, Pearl drops down a spot. I'm not going to punish them too much for losing on the road at NBA on a 53-yard field goal. We'll see just how good they really are this week against a really good CPA team. Last year they played a really defensive classic. We'll see if that's the same way this week. Beach struggled in the first 3 quarters against Station Camp, found a way to still win by 21. So that's the sign of a good team. And then Page does what Page does. 28-0 win over Giles County, and it probably could have been much, much more if they decided to really put their foot down. So we got some really good medium class teams.
Guys, thoughts?
Yeah, my only thought looking at this list is, everybody here has a little bit of input, but for the most part, these rankings are done by Chris and Joe, and I feel bad for both of you.
Actually, I'm not taking credit for that. I'm gonna give it to Joe because he puts this list together every week. So,
KJ, were you able to
I think
get in on this one?
Beach is ranked perfectly. Like Joe said, they did struggle a lot in the first 3 quarters, and they did end up being able to pull away. But they do need to clean up some things on offense and eliminate some penalties.
Yeah, one quick note on that. Beach still ran the ball for 350 yards against a pretty good Station Camp defense. Like, that defense gets overlooked as well as the rest of the Station Camp team, but they have a couple defensive ends that can play Division I football. So,
large class time. It's Oakland, Ravenwood, Ensworth, Mount Juliet, MBA in the top 5 there.
Yeah, Lipscomb Academy drops out after their kind of shocking loss. I think they went down 28-3, and then they scratched and clawed their way back, but it went for naught. The rest of these teams had really, really impressive opening week wins. I would argue that Ravenwood had the best of the lot going to Alcoa and getting that win. Big test this week for Oakland as they travel down to Texas. Ensworth MBA is going to be a classic, and Mount Juliet dominant, absolutely dominant in their opening game against Cane Ridge.
So with that, let's take a quick break and hear from our fine sponsors of this show at Sellers Funeral Homes.
Doing something nice for someone, what a great idea, and Judd Sellers, owner of the Sellers Funeral Home family, is doing just that. The Sellers Funeral Home family, made up of 8 different locations, is proud to sponsor high school athletics throughout the Middle Tennessee area, giving back to the communities that have been so kind to us. That's the Sellers way. Thank you, Middle Tennessee.
All right, so let's dive back in here and start talking about week number 2 for a bit. Joe, you and I are going to be over at the John Merritt Classic game between CPA and Procone. They've kind of dubbed it kind of a Civil War type deal as well, and this becoming a pretty good little rivalry over the last few years.
Yeah, no, it's this game's everything you want out of a good high school football game. 2 really good teams, 2 defending state champions. You were at this game last year at CPA that Procone found a way to win at the very end. They got the touchdowns when they needed. It was a weird scoring game, kind of a scoregami, right? Like 15-11 or something like that. I'm expecting the game similar to that this year. So it's going to be fun. And then TSU's band performing at halftime. I mean, does it get any better than that?
Yeah, you said it right there. That's a halftime show to stick around for. I mean, don't go get concessions because that's gonna be fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, guys. Other important games. Ensworth MBA is another one. I think that now takes a little more importance.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with Ensworth this week. They had a really a light game to start the season with Tennessee Heat. So it's coming into this game, NBA having sharpened their weapons up against Pearl. What is Ensworth going to come in? You really have the first solid game of the Hasselbeck era. The question is, what is the loss of Hugh Price going to do to NBA against a defense like Ensworth?
Yeah, it's simple. Charlie Werner is going to be a huge factor in this game, probably the biggest factor in the game. When they threw him into the fire last week, when Hugh went down, he come in and played great. he led them on a few big 4th down conversions, led them down to the field for the game-winning field goal at the end. but now that he's got to prepare to be the guy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there is a difference there. And playing a really tough Ainsworth defense led by Ethan Nutley up front, you know, it can make you tremble just a little bit.
I think one game of importance coming up is going to be the Battle of the Bridge, Clarksville and Springfield. It's going to be interesting to see just how good Clarksville's defense is. You're really talking about two very much running teams that are going to be going at each other. I think this is a good litmus test for both teams, quite frankly.
Yeah, I'm ready to see how back Springfield is.
And Tyson, you got your alma mater's got a big one this week too with BA Brentwood.
White.
I mean, how excited are you for that? Obviously, you guys get that big win last year over them. I mean, what are you expecting about this one? Without giving away your prediction, which we already know.
I mean, yeah, there is a bit of homer in that, but that's just because I do truly believe that we can pull this out. I feel like we started very, very shaky, which is an understatement against Blackman. Ended up going down 14-3, but from my 4 years of playing and 18 years of watching Brentwood football, we're never, I guess Oakland my freshman year when we had to play them on homecoming, we're never really out of a game. And I truly believe that we play better from behind. And we were able to come back, scored, 21 straight unanswered, including a pick six by Jackson Allen, who's a junior, and just a great athlete at that. I feel like, I don't know, Brentwood just has some athletes. And then George McIntyre,
he struggled last week.
He's proven me right.
He struggled last week, but I think he could get back on track. It was a weird game. It was a weird game. Simple as that. Chris and I both saw it was a weird game.
Yep. I heard about his performance, and then I was just scrolling through Instagram, and I just saw the Barstool Brentwood post showing that he made some really bad decisions. And it's I don't think he's all that the media says he is, but that just takes it to a whole new level. And it's
it's week one. Things can change.
It's one. It's simple. His two best targets are no longer at Brentwood Academy. The offensive line was not, just saying what it was. The offensive line struggled last year. There ain't much different about it.
And I mean, Colby Harmon being out hurt, you could see that. You could see that.
I have a question on another game to get you guys' take on.
Mm-hmm.
How you got Centennial Summit this week? How important is it for Summit to come out and not go down 0-2 going into the season?
Centennial?
Centennial.
Yeah,
Centennial. Summit beat Spring Hill last week.
That's right. Centennial's who
I don't think it. I mean, their first two losses would be to 6A teams.
Yeah.
Yep.
As long as they get going in region play, that's what really matters.
Yeah. And I think Jamal will tell you that. Coach Stewart will tell you that straight up. If going 0-2 to start the year means being in a better spot to make the playoffs in a tough region in 5A, he would take it.
Yep. And that's what the coach said when we were at the media day. He wants to play these tough teams to build them up and be ready for those region games or those playoff games. He doesn't care about going 10-0. Anyone can go 10-0, but can they go when the fire gets tough? Can they go score late in playoff games? That's what he's worried about.
Yep.
Yeah. If you told me
does not matter. Just that's Clarksville last year.
Yep.
You told me last year that Centennial was going to be 0-2 against Summit and Franklin, I would have thought you were crazy. But a lot of things have changed in a year, and that's one of the best things about high school football is there's so much parity, but there's also it's just so random.
And oftentimes, I mean, with you guys, KJ and Tyson being so young, you don't really realize it as much. But you see a player and you say, man, that guy's good. And then you see how much he mattered to that team the year after when he graduates. It's insane sometimes.
Good gosh, Cam, you sound like me. This Pepperidge Farm old man moment is brought to you by.
Back in my day.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll be almost Joe's age.
Okay, that was unnecessary.
Oh. All right.
You'll get there. It hurts me.
We're technically the same age.
Scott, we can't really say much, can we?
No, I'm not saying a word.
Yeah. We'll leave that alone.
I got
Said he
freedom of
sounded
speech
like
this
me.
We had those days once before.
Yes.
It's
I mean, you're wearing a Tecmo Bowl shirt, Chris. That just shows how old you are.
Hey, I don't care. You should know. You've known me long enough to know I do not give a you know what.
Yeah, that's a good shirt, by the way.
It is a great shirt. Unfortunately, it's actually Tecmo Super Bowl, but they can't put the word Super and Bowl next to each other because they would have
Lions
to
are
pay
on
the
there.
NFL a hefty amount.
Yeah.
What? Lions
That
were
was a
not in the
shot.
original Tecmo Bowl.
I know.
Okay.
I'm
So,
aware.
well,
I
history
just wanted to take a shot at the Lions.
You always take a shot at the Lions. Well,
Well,
get our
yeah,
revenge.
it's fun. I enjoy it.
We'll get our revenge one day.
You won't.
Mm-hmm.
All you had to do was kick the field goals.
Oh, shut up, Cam.
He does
Joe
have
would
the
say that
ability
I
to
didn't
mute
need to
you.
jump in.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, you're not. No, you're not. No, speaking of which, though, it's a pretty good little segue to what's coming next. Yeah, a little new graphic for the apology session this year. And Joe, since you were there with me at Lebanon and you decided to go ahead and apologize on the field, let's just go ahead and play that one now.
Yeah.
All right. First apology of the
Actually,
year.
you know what? Let's try something else. We're going to stop that because it won't play audio.
Oh, it was working for me.
And me.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
If you guys
Yeah,
can
it
hear
was playing.
all right, let's go.
Me too.
A lot of us picked the issue. We're fools. You put egg on our face. What a win. I mean, this is not the same old Antioch anymore. I mean, what's that say about this team? You guys go down 15-0 and you come back and you beat them by 12.
I say it's really a mentality change. When Coach Arnold came 2 years ago, sophomore year, the mindset just changed. So, and then Coach Broom, he just put more onto it. So I think it's a mindset thing. So.
How's it feel to get the first apology of the year out of us?
Man, it feels good.
I know you guys had a lot to say for good reason. Obviously, you guys will give us a lot of crap. It's understandable. You guys deserve it. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Did I slightly cheat turning that into an interview? I did. Do I care? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Did you look intimidated? Yes.
Dude, he's huge. So my
He is
sister,
massive.
so my sister was there with us, right, Chris? And my
Yep.
sister looked at him and was like, "Oh my God, that's a big kid."
And you said that's what a Division I offensive
Yeah,
tackle looks
I was like, he's going to Purdue. I was like, he's going to Purdue. So yeah, no. And I showed my girlfriend that, and she just started cackling because of how big he is. She's like, "You're so tiny," and I was like, "All right,
Yeah,
well, that's not nice."
those that don't know Joe
Big
or
old
never
boy.
met Joe in person. Joe's not like massive, but he's not small.
I'm an
He's
average sized
tall.
guy. I'm 5'10".
Matt's
Yes,
right.
he is, Matt.
Yeah.
That is a big point. then.
Also, yeah, thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. Leave Tecmo alone. See, you got to be an OG to know. You got to be an OG to know. That's all. All right, so Joe's got his apology out of the way, and I owe one to Hendersonville because, let's face it, I got it wrong. I thought you guys weren't necessarily going to give Gallatin that great of a game, and there you go, beating them by 3 in their home field. And yeah, it's one of those teams that I wasn't really sure of coming into the year, and the Jordan Twins had a impressive performance, and you know it's tough to go to win in Hendersonville, and I probably should have taken that a little bit more into account. So, Commandos, I salute you. I'm sorry. Cam, you sir are next.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time with the great coaches in our area and doing the picks. You know, we talk about giving the edges to teams because of their coaches. Last week, I was made a fool of myself. I went against one of, if not the best coach in Middle Tennessee in Ingle Martin and the CPA Lions, and they proved me wrong greatly. To Rawls Patterson, to Preston Patterson, to Coach Ingle Martin, to the rest of the CPA Lions, I apologize. I will not be a fool again.
He says that. Watch him pick against Pearl, or watch him pick Pearl tonight.
Scott, you're up.
Oh, God.
Nashville Christian. I'm so sorry. I should be flogged. I should be purged. How did I pick against you? I have no excuse other than to say I feel every yard that Jared Curtis threw for in my soul. I feel every point that was on that scoreboard like lashes on my back. I apologize wholeheartedly for my misgivings and my lack of foresight, and I am truly, epically apologetic.
And from that, we go to KJ.
God, they're just so good, Scott. Well done.
Ravenwood. I actually have nothing against you guys. You guys never did anything to me. I just saw Alcoa, and well, I just thought multi-time state champion. So I picked him. I was wrong, and I should have known when we went to the Williamson County Media Day that I would be wrong. I apologize.
Yeah, he's on one now. I've been waiting for this one. Tyson, you're up.
It's my favorite.
I don't mean it at all, but it's kind of my job. But Franklin, I hate you guys with a passion. Maybe not the people there. The people there are nice, but the school. But you guys did beat Centennial, and that was the only game I got wrong out of my top 10. Even though maybe there was an illegal man downfield call, but that's up for debate. But Franklin, I'm sorry for picking against you. And also, I owe an apology to Tyson Walcott, Friendship Christian legend, for not waking you up for the 6 a.m. lift the other day.
Oh my goodness, that's probably the okay.
Oh yeah,
strong start.
Yeah.
Yeah, very very good stuff, guys. Yeah, we got a lot wrong last week, but like we always do, we make up for it with an apology. And real quick, let's take another quick break before we get into this week's picks.
Doing something nice for someone, what a great idea, and Judd Sellers, owner of the Sellers Funeral Home family, is doing just that. The Sellers Funeral Home family, made up of 8 different locations, is proud to sponsor high school athletics throughout the Middle Tennessee area, giving back to the communities that have been so kind to us. That's the Sellers way. Thank you, Middle Tennessee.
Yep. Certainly want to thank Sellers Funeral Homes for sponsoring this show the entire season and Player of the Week. As we start early on, let's pick some more winners. How about it? I can't believe this. Tyson's tied for first place after week 1. I don't even think he knew it.
Nah, I didn't know it because I thought I was 10-0, but refs don't know how to ref in overtime apparently.
We're
Getting
still on
schooled by the youngsters here on those told you so's.
Yeah, KJ picked up 2 of them, but as we saw last year, that doesn't correlate to being in the top of the standings.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how I was the only one that picked Antioch. Y'all were like, the main reason I picked Antioch is because y'all were like, "Oh my gosh, Antioch's so good!" Like,
because Lebanon was at home, they had Harrison Edwards.
Yep, That's it.
And there were several times last year where Lebanon looked very good. So they got schooled. We were wrong.
Happens.
Throw Matt's comment up there real quick.
Oh, okay.
You know which one. You know which one. So for what it's worth, no, I'm not, because I don't think Scott was up by like 8 games after week 1 last year, and he finished last. So I'm not really worried. I'm
Thanks,
going.
Joe.
Sorry, Scott. I had to throw you on the under the bus. Just kidding. Not sorry. No, I'll be fine. My title's staying with me. These kids don't know what they're doing. They had good week 1s, and then they'll go downhill from here.
Oh, that is very accurate. I was looking through all the picks this week, and it's like, okay, I haven't even heard of some of these teams. Like, what classification are these guys? A lot of the picks I made just because they were a higher classification than the team they were playing.
Yep. Let's go through real quick about the ones that everybody got wrong last weekend. Yeah, there's that Lebanon Antioch game where Tyson gets the green check mark, and that's it.
Bang.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that, I
Happens.
mean, let's be real, Tyson, you're a broken play away from being 10-0 in your first week. Congrats.
That's not,
Yeah.
I'm a accurate ref away from being 10-0. The world's upside down.
You might let that go, Tyson.
It's going to haunt him to his
If
dying
I
day.
get
You'll
10-0
live-
this week,
Just
You'll live
imagine if
on
it was
this.
against Brentwood to beat Brentwood. That would be.
oh my god, I would have quit on the spot.
Yeah, we didn't see him again after that, probably.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with this week's picks. Antioch at Nolensville's first, and the fans take Antioch 63% to win that one. Joe, you've got Antioch quite one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, what I saw week 1, it's hard for me to pick against Antioch. There will be some games I will pick against them. I know they won't like it. They play Oakland in a few weeks. Oakland's Oakland until somebody knocks them off. Andre Adams should light up this Nolensville defense. They struggled against Rockville and their speed with Jalen Morgan. Antioch's got about 3 of those guys that are as fast. So give me the Bears by quite a lot.
I've got Antioch 41-20. I think the Antioch's defense kind of really impressed me at Lebanon, and I think they have another strong showing, and maybe Nolensville gets a late score or 2 to make it a little closer. But I'm taking Antioch right now for that one.
Yeah, same. Andre Adams, I think he goes for 4 touchdowns again. Maybe not all passing, but I think he goes for 4 touchdowns, and the Bears get a win on the road in Nolensville.
Yeah,
Scott, same way.
I'll take a bear over a night anytime. Your armor can only protect you so much. Now, the defense of Antioch is what impressed me, like you said, Chris.
KJ's got a close one, though.
I feel like Antioch definitely did surprise a lot of us, but you got to think, that's only week 1. People are working out kinks, so that's why I have them winning, but it's going to be close.
Tyson's a low-scoring game.
I don't know why, but I felt like it was going to be just a very defensive game. Not necessarily like a bad game from like Andre Adams. I still think he can have a very good game. I think it's just teams have trouble finding the end zone. And maybe it's like Antioch, is a little confident coming off that insane win. And Nolensville is a little hungry after they beat Rockville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, after
That's
like
like field
we
goal.
can buy Rockville, they're a little hungry and work a little harder. But I don't know. I just feel like I know it'll come down to the wire. Or not know, but I think it'll come down to the wire, and maybe it's a defensive game. Who doesn't love that?
Also, Isaac has his pick in as well. You'll see that a little later on in this segment and tomorrow morning on our website when we put everything out about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. So stay tuned for that as well. Next game up is Brentwood BA, Battle of Granny White Pike. Fans are taking BA mild majority, 54% there. Joe, you like BA?
Yeah. I don't think a Paul Wade coach team is going to start 0-2. They had some missed opportunities in the CPA game. I don't think they attempted to pass that was more than 20 yards down the field. I think they changed that this week against Brentwood. They should. Yeah, I think it'll be a close one. George McIntyre leads a late scoring drive, and then give me London Baronis from 50 yards out.
I'm taking a mild upset here and going with Brentwood. I don't know. I just have a feeling about this game, and after what I saw against CPA, there were too many mistakes by George McIntyre, and he's got to clean those up, or else they'll be 0-2.
Yeah, I think as Joe said, Paul Wade such a good coach at getting his guys back focused after a tough loss. And then George McIntyre, you can say he's overrated if you want to. He's still a darn good quarterback, and he's going to fix some of those mistakes here in week 2.
I like BA here. I think that there were mistakes last week, but a lot of what they gave up against CPA scoring wise were big plays. It wasn't like they just got ran over. And I think that if they can clean up the mistakes that they made, make some adjustments to the game plan, they're gonna be better. I think they're already a little bit better than they were last year. And I think that that result of CPA was actually even though they lost, it was if you can call it that, a good loss, and that they didn't just absolutely get blown out.
Yeah.
Speaking of blowouts, KJ.
So
Dang.
I think George McIntyre gets it. Like, it's week 1. Everyone's gonna have their ifs, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's week 1. It's CPA, of course, and it's his senior year. I mean, everyone wants to play their best football their senior year. That's just how it goes, and he's definitely going to get it rolling this week.
And Tyson.
Okay, but you're saying that, but like almost all of Brentwood's starters are seniors, so I can use that same logic right back on you, KJ. Honestly, George McIntyre just had such a bad game against BA. The stats don't show it. He was one drop away from that game being what, like it was 34-21. It would have been 41-21.
31-24.
Okay, it would have been 38-24 because he threw a horrible ball in an out route that the CPA cornerback just blatantly dropped. But like I feel like, yes, he could bounce back, have a great game, but I'm going based off of what I saw. Brentwood has a fire under them. If they play like they did that second half against Blackman, and BA, even if BA plays like BA, I feel like that Brentwood that came back against Blackman beats BA in a nail biter. I feel like either my boy Keenan Fisher drills a game-winning field goal, or maybe we just end up blocking another field goal because, you know, our field goal block unit, they work them hard.
Tell them, Tyson. Special teams matter.
Okay. Okay, Scott.
All right. Got to pick up the pace a little bit on these. Ensworth, NBA 66% of the fans taking the Big Red to win over Ensworth. Joe, you've got Ensworth.
Yeah. A certain Tennessee commitment at Ensworth told me that this game was not going to be close. I listened to him. I do think the injury to Hugh Price is going to hurt NBA quite a bit. Give me Ensworth with a couple of defensive touchdowns.
I'm taking Ensworth as well. You can't make enough 53-yard field goals to win every game. I like what I saw at Ensworth this preseason, and NBA without Hugh Price, it's not the same.
Yeah. Ditto. Low scoring, defense first. Charlie Verner, freshman quarterback for NBA, just not able to get it done 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they'll have to make the playbook, as much in Verner's favor as they can, which means that they'll probably cut it down a little bit. I think Ensworth with the defense will win it.
KJ's going with a Big Red.
NBA really impressed me last week. You know, they were able to move the ball, and I feel like they haven't, when recent years, they haven't been able to do that as efficiently, in my opinion. And, don't get me wrong, Ensworth's defense, great. When you have that intuition, it's that intuition this week.
I had that intuition all last week, so maybe you got something going for you. To keep it brief, NBA is good. There's no denying that. But I mean, there's a reason that they're in a top 10 game. But I think Ensworth is better. So I could see NBA pulling this out. That's why I think it'll be a close game. But I don't know. I just like Ensworth this year. They're speaking to me.
Next up, Franklin and FRA, and this one was the closest vote of the week with 51% going with the Admirals to get to 2-0. Joe, you agree?
Yeah, FRA had a great opening win. They beat a pretty bad team, though. Give me the team that is on a 3-game win streak at the moment and is looking to really keep it going. There's something about this Franklin team that I like.
I do like this Franklin team, but I'm going to take a page out of Tyson's playbook. They are a busted play away from being 0-1, and I think FRA is not making that mistake again and giving that one up. So I'm taking the Panthers here.
Yeah, Justin Geisinger, underrated coach in the area. I think the FRA is a sneaky good team in Division II AA this year. They got a couple things to replace, but a big opening week 1 win, and maybe Franklin a little bit over excited from a thrilling win in week 1.
I think Franklin was fortunate to come out of there. I think Centennial outplayed them most of the game, and I think that FRA is not the type of team that'll give up, make those same kind of mistakes. So yeah, I'm going.
Like Chris said, they got out there just a little lucky last week. FRA had a great week. They got it done. Go ahead and go FRA.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. When I made this pick, I was thinking about last year's FRA, and I was like, oh, yeah, they're 100% beating Franklin. But I forgot that seniors graduate.
Yeah.
I don't know. FRA is 1-0. Franklin's barely 1-0. But I feel like FRA is just a lot more established. I feel like Franklin's going to be like, oh, my gosh, we just won our home opener. What are we going to do? And then they're just going to get hit by FRA, who I'm pretty sure is usually a good team. But, yeah, I'm going to be honest, this pick was kind of a shot in the dark. So I apologize in advance if this is wrong, and it's not my fault. I'm just uneducated.
No, don't worry, you can apologize later.
Well, you don't have to apologize to Franklin again.
No.
Yeah, no.
We don't apologize to the same team twice. So
We don't want to make
I
it do
mean,
that.
honestly, if I have to, this would actually be a sincere apology if they beat FRA.
I have to hold you to that, actually.
Yeah.
Collierville at Beach. Lopsided fan vote, 81% siding with the Buccaneers. Joe, you like Beach in a close one?
Yeah, Beach kept it close last year at Collierville. KJ's got the helmet ready. Collierville struggled week 1 against a Riverside team that is
replacing
rebuilding.
like 18
Yeah.
seniors, right?
Yeah, they won that game 20-10 at home. Beach, I know they struggled in the first 3 quarters last week, but I think they get going this week, and I got them picking up a really impressive home win over the Dragons.
Yeah, I think Beach worked some kinks out the second half last week, and I think they're going to be a lot sharper getting this week in Collierville at home, and being back at home would be good for them as well. I like the Bucks in this one.
Yeah, same. I think the rushing attack, I think Caden Powell's going to be carrying the ball more this year. And then Collierville, lost their best weapon in Joakim Dotson to the Baylor School. May have seen him on ESPN on Sunday with the game-winning touchdown. But I like the Bucks at home on Shackle Island.
Yeah, Collierville didn't really run the ball very well last week. They relied on to throwing it. I think Beach controls this game on the ground. Has a big defensive game.
Yeah, you guys know it's the Bucks. It's at home. They're gonna pound it, run the ball. That's what they do. That's always what we've done.
Yeah, Beach is good. Shackle Island's an insane atmosphere. Would have loved to, whenever we played them, to have our student section there, but, kind of makes sense. Never lost to Collierville in my career. Lost to Beach once, so I'm going Beach. That's the only reason. It's not because they have a good quarterback or anything.
Next up, DCA Friendship Christian. Another close one here. Friendship Christian gets 54% of the fan vote. Joe's going the other direction.
Yeah, I'll take the team with the quarterback that threw for almost 4,000 yards last year and has a 6'6", 6'7" tight end that's going to Tennessee and was dominant last week. Give me the Wildcats to get some revenge. Friendship had a great week running the ball last week, but they're gonna need to control the clock in this one. Keep DCA's offense off the field.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with that because Carson Snead, 3 catches, 3 touchdowns. That's pretty good. Going to be hard to stop him, and Friendship Christian's going to have to key on him, and we might see somebody else pop up in the stat sheet.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I think it matches up where Friendship strengths, they'll be able to use those against DCA, and DCA strengths, they'll be able to use those against Friendship. Kind of spells a shootout to me. Mitchell Carey is going to have a big game. Can DCA's fronts hold up against a very, very big Friendship offense and defensive line?
Yep. I'm going with DCA here. I think that just too much offense, too much Snead. They'll get the ball out quick before Barton can get to the quarterback.
Friendship Christian, like we talked about, like Cam just said, up front, that's where you win. That's where you win games. You win games in the trenches, not just because I played D-line, but you win games in the trenches. So that's where my head went, and that's why I got FCS.
I'm actually really upset that if FCS won, this wouldn't have been a told you so moment. So thanks for that, KJ. Yeah, y'all were saying shootout. I was thinking like NFL type shootout. Y'all were thinking like, oh, both teams scored 28 points. That's a lot of points. So I might be wrong about the score, but FCS, they can run the ball, man. And DCA's got some athletes, so I think that they're not going to fail to put up some numbers. And I'm just now realizing that I put 48-30 instead of 40-38. So that's even better. And once again, sorry to Tyson Walcott.
Yeah, I was just going to say, for Friendship to score 48, is Tyson going to dress out?
He's back.
All right, getting toward the end of the hour, so we're going to pick up the pace even more. Gordonsville, Watertown, 67% of the fans on Gordonsville. Joe, you've got the Tigers there too.
I would have loved to pick the Purple Tigers, but I think the regular Tigers get some payback, especially if Jay Foster's back in the mix this week.
Kind of agree with that. I think if Foster is back in the lineup, that offense is even better.
Yeah, Josh Hackett-led defense allowed 40 points last week to Forest. Just too much Gordonsville.
Gordonsville's defense is for real, guys. I think that they'll do well.
Defense, defense, defense. That's what I preach. That's what it is.
Chaos. It was really a shot in the dark. I don't know anything about these two teams.
Well, at least you're willing to admit it publicly.
I have no shame.
And that's what we appreciate about you.
I do know you won't get a told you so there, Tyson.
Yep.
Yeah,
Henry
Isaac's
County,
definitely picking his
yeah,
alma mater.
Henry County, Riverdale, 71% of the fans on the Warriors. Joe is taking the visitors.
Yeah, this isn't the same Riverdale team that we saw last year, guys. I think Henry County is still really, really good. Riverdale struggled with Smyrna at times last week. I think the Patriots come to Murfreesboro and get a really impressive win.
I think it's still hard to go down there and win a road game, and Henry County is going to be a very good team, but I'm just this early in the season, I'll take the home team for right now.
Yeah, I think it's close. I think Henry County's still trying to fill some holes from last year, and Riverdale is still, they're still very talented, but they got some important positions to replace.
Yeah, the Patriots depended on big plays, special teams last week to overcome Brighton. They can't do that against Riverdale. I like Riverdale. I like them, and heck, they already don't like the Patriot logo.
Can we put Matt's comment up first?
Henry County, that's funny.
No, it's better timing that he said that, but I'll go ahead and put it up there because It is kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, Riverdale and Henry County both lost a lot last year, but one thing that I know personally about playing Henry County, I don't know where they find them boys at, but them boys are always coming back, and they come back bigger, stronger, and I think that's why they're so successful running the ball now. So give me Henry County.
It's the big old country boys. I don't know why I did 35-28 when Henry County's a ground and pound. I did these all late last night, so
I could say, I mean, they could put up.
but hey, it could happen. Yeah, Henry County's got them big old country boys.
Well, they threw the ball around last week.
Bishop's Cup action over at Father Ryan, JP2 at Father Ryan. Fans are on Father Ryan. Joe, you've got the Knights.
Yeah, I mean, Father Ryan beat up on a really bad team last week. Overton's rebuilding. They took advantage of it. I think this is really where we see what they're about. JP2, they found their quarterback in Hudson Holman, who really tore up that East Nashville defense at times last week. I think JP2's getting better, and I think they get some revenge after last year.
Yep, I like what I saw against East Nashville too from the Knights, and I think that they'll continue that run.
Ditto. Hudson Holman, big game.
Father Ryan's got a quarterback too, Joseph Derrick. I think in this test, I really don't know what these teams really like. I'm taking the home team here, a little home love.
Yeah, I mean, Pope has struggled since trying to replace Kenny like a year ago, and they finally got back on track. So give me the Knights.
I feel like Pope's just not the same that they used to be. And, like, I feel like they're kind of in – like, yeah, they had a good game against East. Probably should have won it, but I feel like they're just in, like, a QB purgatory after Kenny Minchie. They just can't find that, like, star guy. And, I feel like Father Ryan is just kind of the big brother here, at least in recent years, and I feel like they continue that. Whether Pope's the better team or not, I feel like Father Ryan just kind of has the upper hand in this matchup.
CPA at Pearl Cone, our spotlight game of the week. The fans are on CPA 59%. Joe, you've got the lines.
Yeah, really impressed by what I saw out of CPA. Pearl, really tough start to the year with two really good teams. I just think CPA, there's something about the CPA team. And Pearl, they're going to win out from here on out. That's what I have to say about that. Give me the Lions in a really fun matchup.
All right, I'm going the other direction because I'm a man of my word. I said I would not pick against Pearl Cone. I'm not going to start now. And I got burned last year by them, and I'm going to give them a shot at home as well.
Yeah, I think after last week, I had to go with CPA in this one, and I kind of pity the fool that picks against CPA.
Speaking of fools who pick against CPA, I did that last year. I said I wouldn't go against Ingo Martin, and I'm not here. I think it's close, but I'm going to go with the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, CPA, they're off a state championship win, as is the Firebirds. But last week, Pearl Cone really struggled. A lot of error and mistakes. So I got to go with the Lions.
Yeah, CPA is good. Pearl Cone's good. I feel like CPA just comes out on top.
All right, we're closing on the top of the hour, so we're going to skip the recap and go right to Reggie's Rescue pick of the week. Unfortunately, a slow start for our guests at 0-1 with that loss by Lebanon to Antioch. And let's see who we've got picking for us this week.
Hello. Yeah. I guess not. So this is Jerry. Jerry's around 10 months old. He is a very friendly male kitten. Still has a couple more months to grow, a bit bigger. He is fully vetted, so he's been neutered. He has his rabies shot, all of his boosters, dewormed, and he's been AIDS and leukemia tested, and is negative for that, so he doesn't have that either. He's really sweet boy, really good kitty cat, like people, kids, treats, pretty much everything. He's probably the bravest kitten in the room too. He doesn't seem to be as bothered by dogs because the others Christmas tree tail like immediately, and he just kind of thinks. So he's a very tolerant kitty, but very friendly. Just wants pets and nothing, and is in really good health and just a great cat. He's just a little bit bigger than the rest of them, so. And the black kitties tend to stay a lot longer than with the black dogs for some reason. I'll go as quickly. Where'd you find that chick? He said, yeah, he's ready.
Make your day. I'm gonna make your day. Let's switch. Jerry.
Wait, can you Joyce.
Anyone.
Right. That's impressive, actually.
Yeah. The cat streak is over as Jerry has been called home for CPA. The Firebirds part to be happy with that.
In Reggie's honor, he's sticking with the Firebirds.
Yep. Well, home team gets another pick from our friends over at the Humane Society of Sumner County. So let's see if they can get to 1-1 with those picks, guys. Let's get out of here. One more word for each of you on week number 2.
Stay hydrated out there. It's going to be a hot one the next couple nights. Chris and I are out Thursday and Friday. If you see us, come by, say hi. We'll be at Thompson Lipscomb tomorrow. But again, stay hydrated, stay safe out there. Scott, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. I thought I was getting reverb from the video. It's a couple of games have already been moved back. So don't be so keep an eye on your game. Make sure that you if you want to get out there early, but a lot of games get moved back because of the heat, like Chris said. So please, guys, if you can, get by Sumner Humane Society. Somebody go get that little black cat before my wife finds out and goes and gets it. No, really seriously, guys, get out there and adopt those kitties and doggies and all that, and give them some good homes.
Yeah, fired up to be at Friendship Christian on Friday night. I'll be at Friendship and DCA, expecting a good matchup there. I always love going to Possum Town. Please like, subscribe, follow all of our socials. Guys, we're pushing in. We're almost at 14,000 on Instagram on followers, and we are less than 100 away from 10,000 followers on X/Twitter. So please like, follow, subscribe on YouTube. It's free. We appreciate all you guys do for us.
Me personally, athletes, please take care of your bodies. Make sure you are drinking water, Pedialyte, everything throughout the day, liquid IVs. It gets hot these early few weeks. You cramp up. It's not good for business. Also, just enjoy a game. Don't be that fan that's like taking it to heart. It's just football at the end of the day.
Yeah. I got 2 things to say. God is good. And 11 a.m. Central, Louisville, Kentucky. The Austin Peay Governors are going to hopefully shock the world. Let's go, Govs, baby. Beat Louisville.
All right.
I have one last thing. I just want to say well done, Chris, on Green Hill. Episode 1 is out now on our YouTube channel. We'll have episode out too here in a couple weeks. We're spacing those out, so we're not stressing ourselves out. But Chris, well done on the first episode. I think it turned out really well, and I'm excited to see the.
Well, shout out to you and Isaac for the interviews and all the footage that you guys got. So, well done, guys. Antioch fans, our spotlight film from that game at Lebanon just dropped on the YouTube channel, so go check that out as soon as we cut out here. Just a reminder, 615 Prep Scoreboard Saturday morning. We're back at our normal 9 a.m. Saturday slot. We will go over all the games from the area with some highlights and interviews and our normal,
And we'll get you out of there in time to see McAfee's insane picks.
Yes, because we some of us have to work on Saturday, unfortunately. But
yeah,
that's neither here nor there. For all of us here at 615 Preps, for KJ, Tyson, Scott, Joe, Cam, Isaac, who's not here, I'm Chris. See you guys on Saturday at 9 a.m. and make sure you get out to the game this week and stay cool, everybody.